Till the bullshit's gone.
I tell
I
you
like
what.
it.
I tell you what. You know, starting the show off in the new year, right? You know, with our own logo, music, and everything. Folks, the machines are taking over.
Yes.
For
Very,
sure.
very quickly, too. Now, that was a very, very quick break.
Yeah. Happy 2026, folks.
Episode 1 of 2026.
That's right. That's right. We are off of the football offensive lineman. We have gone up. We have exhausted that numbering system. So we're just going to go episode 1, 2026, and roll on. So
Keep up with them.
yeah. So what you were just listening to, if you were listening at all, because I know there's only 2 of you out there, was it AI generated?
It was AI generated, put in a prompt, and just created a song. Took less than 10 seconds to create. And
That's wild.
Loved the chorus part, so I just decided we wanted to play that little chorus part. We'll continue to work on it, but yeah. I'd like to create our own little song for us.
And we'll probably just utilize the first version of this throughout, this show.
Yeah.
Introducing the segments and whatnot. And folks, that way we don't get in trouble with some copywriters and getting flagged on Facebook when we try to cut reels.
Yep.
Not like it's happened before, but hypothetically speaking, if it does
paid
happen.
for.
Again, welcome back to Pints of Politics 2026. Man, thanks to Comer Distributing.
Yes.
What is old is new, and
Today's pint,
yeah, what are we drinking?
Lagunitas, a little something something.
Lagunitas?
Smooth. Is it Lagunitas? I don't know. Lagunas? I don't know. Lagunitas. Yeah, that sounds right.
Love it.
That's about right. That's on par. Give me something I don't know how to pronounce.
The more things change, the more they stay the same. Yeah, so we're drinking Lagunitas, little something something. Chip, we're gonna work on that.
Yeah, my bad, Chip. I bought it because it said a little something something, not
Yeah,
not
right.
the brewery name.
Yep. So these folks are not local. It's from Petaluma, California, but good full flavor
Yeah,
beer. It's got a little hoppiness on the back end, don't you think?
yeah. I mean, it's an IPA, so you're gonna taste it, but it's pretty light.
Yeah.
It's not a heavy IPA.
And I'm not a huge
It says
IPA
smooth
fan.
and silky.
But it is good. I would drink 1 or 2 of these.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. So, man, welcome back. Session is a mere days away.
Do you have your office set up yet? That's the question.
Hey, I just took the first couple boxes back in yesterday.
I got most of my boxes. I'm missing my Legislator of the Year award by the GOP.
Oh,
I can't find it anywhere.
yeah, me too.
It's got to be in some.
I'm still looking for mine too.
It's got to be in somebody's office, but
Yeah. So
We'll have to
I
find
don't
it.
know. You and it seems like I'm the only guy who has not spent at least some time in their office. I think you and I are the worst.
Yeah.
The other side of the office with Randy Ligon and David Martin. They've got some more time than we have. They've spent a little more time in the Blatt since they reopened the office. But I mean, David's looks like it's ready to go, except for a couple pictures needs to be hung.
yeah. I put one in for him.
Oh, did you?
Yeah.
Oh, I saw that. I did see that. Yep. So, but yeah, man. So, Happy New Year.
Happy New Year.
Yeah, man. Have a good Christmas and all that.
Definitely.
Yeah, me too. Low key.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was fun. When you go on vacation, a lot of times folks make the mistake of
What's a vacation?
correct or a holiday, as the Europeans would say, and they spend so much.
Vacatatin, right?
They spend so much time having a good time that they're exhausted when they get back. Opposite of what mine was. I did not do that whatsoever. It was low key in Rock Hill. Went down to Charleston, spent the week of New Year's down there. Low key. I mean,
Very nice.
I think my dinner reservation was at 6. I was back with the kids by 8. And you know what? My daughter has turned 17, and she wanted to stay up past midnight.
Yeah.
And so we had the boys down, and we actually did celebrate with her the bringing in of the new year.
Awesome. I do it every year with fireworks. So this year I went over to the Hamners. They've got 3 little girls.
Yeah.
My friend Laura was over there. My wife's friend Laura was over there with her daughter as well. And then, of course, I had Callahan and then some neighborhood kids come out.
Yeah.
About $500 worth of fireworks go off and shooting it off at midnight and like we always do.
Yeah. Like we
fun.
always do about this time.
Look, 4th of July, I was raised, fireworks was one of those things that I was always able to shoot off and celebrate. So I try to raise the boys, like Callahan being 7. I let him light some of the fireworks this year, trying to teach them safety. And the little girls, I mean, mainly they're sparklers and things like that. And I say $500 worth of fireworks. That was, I guess, the retail value, but everything was like, buy one, get one. You get a couple families pitch in for $250, and you get.
I'm the opposite of that. I do no fireworks.
No.
When as a kid growing up, we were dumb.
Man, you don't know what it feels like for a bottle rocket to go past your mullet. And, like, make it fly.
Not past my mullet, but past my polo collar.
Yeah. you feel the wind in between the collars.
Right, and it was popped. You know what I mean? That's how we did it in Somerville, South Carolina. But that's what I'm saying, man. Roman candles, shooting them at your friends.
We were chasing each other down Cherry Road with Roman candles.
Exactly. We always had bottle rocket wars when I was a kid. And I mean, you were literally with a backpack full of explosives.
Running around.
You are getting chased by 2 of your buddies and throwing them back. And the Roman candles were always the get out of jail. Like you must be cornered in the woods by 2 or 3 friends from the opposing team, lighting your ass up with bottle rockets to where I gotta clear the area and get out of here.
I would clear it by doing the Roman candles that had the jumping jacks that shot out. So not only did it explode, it would start bouncing around everywhere.
Right. So, and again, man, I tell these stories, and my daughter was like, "How did you make it?" And I'm like, "Honey, Darwinism, I guess, or whatever you want to call it." But it's only the strong survive.
Yeah, as long as you're not burning anything down.
Correct.
Like, we always made sure that fires were put out, and
would you let your kid do what we did?
No.
No's the right answer. All right, moving on.
Would I want them to, learn some of the things? Yes.
Correct. Pass along the wisdom.
Yeah.
You don't have to do it, son.
Yeah. let me show you something. The words of Fire Marshal Bill.
Yep. All right, so let's get back to the State House stuff. Man, this is now going to be our 4th year of being a representative in the House.
Yes.
What's changed, man? This time of year, you're hopefully full of energy. Hopefully, not worn down yet.
I'm ready to get back to have a little bit of a break.
And just wanted to take a few minutes in this segment to talk about expectations. Maybe now in year 4 versus when we were wee little ones in year 1, it's different, right? And
I mean, it feels different.
Yeah.
There's
you got?
higher expectations. You have a little bit more pull, so you feel like you've got to lead more issues, whereas whenever we first come in, there's no expectations as a freshman. Even though we were pushing for Gavin's Law and we had the fentanyl trafficking, those were the big things that we were coming in as freshmen really pushing for. We've still got our bills that we can push for, but we only have so much political capital.
Yeah.
So we're starting to look at bigger pictures on how to get things
I know, man.
done.
And that's the thing. I think in our roles now, year 4 versus year 1 we have more responsibility in our sort of local group. And when I say local group, we've got a strong group of 7 or 10 of us that just like to we're spread across different committees, and we always like to stay in touch and ask each other, how can we help each other?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Whether it's getting a bill that we all think should be a priority, getting a hearing date, or, hey, how can we show up and help? And there's just, folks, that's how things are done, is when, our group, we all respect one another. We have similar core values, and we like to help each other, right? And we think that's reflective of the people that we're representing.
Yeah.
So I feel the same thing. There's more, I think, expected of us, whether you're officially or non-officially a leader within the House or within our caucus.
Or committees.
Yeah. There's just more responsibilities, more expectations, I think, on us. And I'm fine with it, right? I mean, I don't think it's too much to bear for us. I think we're ready for it.
That's kind of what you asked.
Yeah. So
whenever we first came in, you had no expectations. So if you got something done, then it was like high praise.
Yeah.
Now it's if you don't get something done, then you're going to hear about it, right? So,
Right.
you know, I feel like we have worked through the system enough to understand our colleagues a little bit better to where we can, you know, show respect, get respect, and make things happen. And that's important.
Yeah, and obviously, you know, we're in our second term, so the folks who are behind us in their first term, like our colleague David Martin, Jackie Terrabil,
Yeah.
you know, within our delegation, you know, also be able to help them, right? You know, whether it's
Let's try to get them some wins.
yeah, and sometimes it's just housekeeping or it's organizational stuff. Like, hey, how do I do this? How would I, if I want to be successful, how do I approach this? Right?
That's if they come and ask.
That's right.
David
Yeah.
does.
Well, and sometimes it's good for them to run into their own walls and learn for themselves, right?
Yeah.
So, and that's happened.
That was the biggest learning point for me freshman year.
Yeah.
Was ticking off people that vouched for me
Yeah.
that I had no clue
Or
were
I think-
vouching for me to begin with.
And I love to tell the story of the fentanyl trafficking.
Yeah.
You and I both,
We just ticked
running-
everyone off.
you know, running into every wall we could in the dark, all with good intent, right? Of getting fentanyl trafficking mandatory minimums passed. But we bypassed the subcommittee chair, the committee chair.
Yeah. We were like, we don't care what you think.
Well, I think that's what our actions said, but we didn't. That wasn't our intent. We didn't know the process.
Our intent was just to get the bill passed.
Correct. And we saw the finish line, and hey, let's go there.
Yeah.
Not realizing there's a quarter pole.
But I
that
think
is
that's
a subcommittee
important.
chair or a committee
Just like
chair.
we were talking about kids playing with fireworks. There's a point where you got to learn, hey, if this goes off too soon, it's going to hurt.
Yeah, right.
Right?
Yeah, you
and,
can
and
read
if you're
all the
not
manuals
if you're
you
not
want.
doing things the right way, then it's going to hurt.
Yeah. So yeah, I mean, it's going to be another fun year. I know sometimes we, in private, when I say in private on this podcast, we talk about the frustrations, you know,
Yeah.
and all those things. But, you know, it's a new year, new me. I know. I'm looking forward to it.
I think it's going to be good. And, you know, whenever we first came in, it was boring. It seemed like so much time. But this is our second time going into the second half of a session.
Yeah, right.
So while we came in the first year was different than our second session first year,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah, 100%.
But now we're seeing the second year, and so much is going to depend on whether, you know, the House agenda aligns with the Senate agenda.
yeah.
And hopefully we don't end up down at the deadline to where we've passed a bunch of stuff to the Senate and the Senate's passed a bunch of stuff to the House
Right.
and nothing passing both chambers.
Yeah. And, you know, remember in our freshman term,
But this is an election year for the Senate, so
right. But you remember our freshman term, there was new leadership, right?
yes.
We went from a speaker N.J. Lucas, who left the body,
Yep.
and Merle Smith ascended to the speakership. And so, do you remember year one?
It was like, ain't no way this stuff is going to be done.
Our hair was on fire. We had such a bold, aggressive agenda. You and I were skeptics.
Yeah.
And in that first year, we got so many things done. And
The second year was kind of a letdown because we had accomplished so much the first
we thought
year.
we were always going to be going
Yeah.
85 miles an hour. And it seemed like in year two, we had gotten so much done. We were trying to do a lot of due diligence and research on other issues. We were so focused in year one on what we could get to the governor to pass
Well, year
into law.
two taught us how we have to work with the Senate
Yeah,
because it doesn't matter. The first year, we got everything that we wanted done,
yeah,
but yet it wasn't through the Senate. And
Yeah.
so then year two was more about working within government as a whole.
the bicameral system.
Yes.
Wait a minute, it's not just up to the House. I know, man. So, you know, on that note, wanted to also talk about, you know, let's fill in the blank, right? Let's finish this sentence of the 2026 session is a success when we get blank done, right? And so I'm going to go through a couple of items that I've listed. And folks, 2026 is a new year. We are getting professional when we have production notes.
Yeah, that is true.
I mean, what? It used to be like a Post-it and a text message. And now we have 3 or 4 pages.
I never made notes before.
I'm telling you, folks, the machines are taking over. But anyway, So, a couple issues. Tax reform.
Tax reform is huge, and I'm hearing that's not the Senate's.
Well,
agenda.
the House passed the income tax. Mm-hmm. Taking it from, again, let's not get into the weeds of the effective tax rate versus the posted tax rate. Let's just go with income tax in South Carolina, depending on your federal deductions, all that kind of stuff, is 6.2. We reduced it in a House bill, I can't remember the number, 4261, something 4231. We passed a House bill to take that 6.2 to 399 with a path to zero, dependent upon some economic triggers with incoming tax revenues. That's over in the Senate. Mm-hmm. Do you think the Senate can get that passed into the governor's desk?
I don't believe that it's their agenda to get it passed. I think their focus is going to be more on property tax.
Okay, and so
Which means probably neither tax cut will get
This is
through.
not gambling. We are not, betting on anything here. This is the prediction.
What'd you ask me to bring money for?
This is the prediction. Folks, this is the prediction market of the game. All right, so do you think the Senate will pass the income tax, the House bill?
I don't.
Whether they amend it in whatever form, they pass it back to us so we can concur and get it to the governor's desk.
I don't believe so.
Okay. I say we do.
Okay.
Whew, man, already. What do you
I don't
write
think
down?
they get it. I don't know. You
All
talk
right.
to the Senate more than I do.
All right. Yeah. All right. So, what I am hopeful of is that they can move on our income tax. And again, I've had some discussions. Senator Bennett, man, he is great.
He's great whenever it comes to anything tax related.
Correct.
Yeah.
He's the guy.
He's the expert.
So, reached out to him, talked to him a little bit. I think he's got some ideas that can improve income tax reform. And so what I would say to, if any senators listen, take up the bill, amend it, and get it back to us, right? I think cost of living and affordability is sort of a universal thread of a lot of things when we look at policy issues that could impact our voters. And I think we can all work together to sort of get an affordability agenda, right? And so passing some sort of income tax relief, while it's not an end-all be-all, I think it could be a component of some financial ease back to our voters.
I agree.
All right. And I also, in all my discussions with senators,
Any tax cuts.
correct,
Good.
is I encourage them to pass their property tax cut. So there's House bills and Senate bills, but I don't really care, pride of authorship, but let's raise the homestead exemption. We've talked about this before. Right now, I think the homestead exemption back in the early 1972, 73, whatever it was $50,000, homestead exemption. That has never been touched. We talked about this in the DOT committee about indexing. That was never indexed. And so I would throw out a number of 150. Let's raise that homestead exemption to 150. Here's the catch. That will blow about a $230 to $240 million hole in the budget. Not just state budget, but
County.
local government budgets.
Yep.
And
They're going to want an offset.
Having a lot of conversations with school districts, city council, county council folks, and then also our Senate colleagues. That's going to be where the rubber meets the road, right? So if we got $230 or $240 million that we've got to backfill, where do we find that money? And I would challenge everybody. I think we can spend less, right?
I mean, I'm kind of on the DeSantis side of this, of getting rid of property tax. Why pay tax on something that you own?
It's a forever lease, bro.
Yeah, I mean, I've always said, and maybe it's more the libertarian vein in me, I believe that if we're going to tax, it should be based on consumption.
Yeah.
So sales tax can replace so much, and I know a lot of people don't like that. But if I'm giving you all your money, and based on what you're buying, depends on what you're paying in taxes. That way, if you can't afford it, then we're not having to give you as much government money to subsidize you. You can afford what you need, but you might not be paying much in taxes.
Yeah, right. Go to like a universal flat tax.
Yes.
Obviously.
Well, not the flat tax, just the sales tax. I don't even like income tax. I don't like income. I don't like...
When I mean a flat tax, I mean a flat tax of consumption.
Yes.
So And obviously that would mean, say, taking a
Like
state
Tennessee
sales tax
does,
to
I think,
10 to
11.
10 or 11, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it would hurt counties like ours that are on the border with the state that has a lower sales tax because people would just go across the border to buy their stuff.
So yeah, what I'm hoping for, and again, this is hope, prediction. I'm hoping that we can get the income tax back over to us. Let's figure that out, concur, get it to the governor, and then the Senate give us a homestead exemption raise. And again, I'm not saying it's 150, but whatever the number is, let's offer some property tax relief to voters and then figure it out with our school district. I've already started calling my school district members, my school board members, excuse me. And again, I just threw out a number. I'm like, look, if there's a $230 to $240 million delta, local government's going to have to come up with 100 of it.
Yeah.
Right? That 130 might be manageable for the state. It may be. And again, I'm not on Ways and Means, but I want to be. You know what I mean? So
I think everyone wants to be on Ways and
Means. Yeah. So
that's the most coveted.
I think that's the formula for us getting the income tax. And that's why I'm saying
work.
That's why I got to check.
I still don't think that they passed the income tax.
All right.
I think there was too much pushback last year and they got scared.
All right.
My personal opinion.
What about one that's near and dear to our heart, along with tax reform, infrastructure reform? So we were both on the DOT ad hoc committee, heard a lot of testimony and had a lot of discussion this back in 2025, last year, when we took it on the road. I think there's a draft bill that got sent to us, 2 weeks ago or so, that we're sort of putting all of these thoughts and potential solutions on paper. And I think we're going to finalize that here in the first month. What do you think?
I think that we will pass some type of DOT reform. However, I think it's going to be how we did our judicial reform.
Piecemeal?
I think we're going to get something passed, and before we can even implement it, everyone's going to be up in arms and saying, oh, this needs to be reformed. And so we haven't even been able to see what the differences are making, but yet it's going to be a major campaign running issue.
Yeah.
If you're running for the state house right now, DOT reform's big, but we're already in the middle of it.
Yeah, and folks, let's talk about some of the nuances of governing, right? Not the campaigning, not the politics side of this job, but governing. I think you and I both agree in our experience with this committee work on the DOT ad hoc, we have learned that funding for infrastructure in South Carolina has been kicked down the road.
Yes.
It wasn't until the General Assembly addressed this with the gas tax back in 2017, 2018, whenever that was, before us, that responsible legislators said, look, we can't kick this thing down the road anymore. We've got to address this issue. That included raising the gas tax, which is 28 cents on the gallon, which
still some of the lowest in the country.
It is. If you look at our neighbors in North Carolina, North Carolina, Georgia, and Florida, we're lower than all of them per gallon. And everyone loves to champion Florida. Florida charges 33% more in their gas tax than South Carolina does. Okay? So they charge, I think, 38 cents on gasoline. We're at 28 cents. I don't know if that's exactly 33. Anyway.
1/3 higher.
What we learned was this can has been kicked down the road when it comes to infrastructure funding
because no one wants to say we're going to raise taxes.
Correct. We have had many conversations around the state where we talked about, and we noticed that the rate of inflation, cost of living, the cost of building a road has gone up and up every year.
Yeah.
Well, guess what has not gone up? How we fund it.
Yeah.
Right? And so the funding mechanisms have been lagging the costs of building and maintaining roads.
We've also had the EV market come out. Where we're not collecting money to repair roads.
Gasoline efficiency. Right? So if we're charging per gallon to maintain our roads and gas efficiency in vehicles has only increased, Well, guess what? You have heavier use by the vehicles, and you're not collecting enough maintenance fee, which is the gas tax or whatever, to maintain said road. And
We've
so,
also had the increase of the ports
yeah,
of commerce coming through here. However,
heavy
based
commercial
on
trucks.
based on how things are taxed, a transportation company is going to decide, no, we're going to do this in Georgia or we're going to do this in North Carolina as opposed to South Carolina because they may be more expensive.
Right. And so the truth of the matter is the funding mechanisms to build and maintain the roads that we all want has been lagging.
Yes.
And so at some point, the General Assembly is going to have to address that. That is the cold, hard facts. So if you want the best roads, you're going to have to pay for them. We are going to have to pay for them. And what that's going to mean is we're going to have to find the funds available to meet the demand of a growing state.
Which, even if we send back many of these roads to the local level,
Yep.
on the county level, they're going to increase your taxes to be able to maintain them.
Correct.
You know?
At some point,
Yes.
to
quote John Fox, it is what it is.
So that DOT reform bill,
But 30 years going without repairing the bridges the way they should.
yeah.
We're starting in a hole.
And again, we heard that, especially in the upstate. Man, bridges are in disrepair.
Well, I mean, we've got the problem on Exit 82.
Oh, yeah, with the decking.
Yeah.
Yeah, so again, we have got to pass meaningful legislation when it comes to roads, bridges. I've seen a draft in the House. Hopefully we can get a bill over to the Senate.
I think we will.
All right, but the question is,
Will the Senate?
Do we get it to the governor's desk?
I think the Senate, I think there's enough pressure. The only problem is that this is not an election year for the Senate. So there's no incentive, so to say.
Political incentive. Right.
Political incentive. And as bad as that sounds,
It's
it
the reality.
remains truth because I think in some of their minds is thinking, and that's the reason you see a difference between the House and the Senate a lot of times. But I do believe in some of their minds, and as in voters' minds, is what have you done for me lately? So would it not be better for them to pass it in an election year to say, this is what I've done for you lately?
Well, I've noticed that it seems that leadership on our side and leadership on the Senate side, working together more.
Except for on the agendas this year. The agendas are not the same.
Well, but I look at that as a good thing. Whereas the Senate's going to take the lead on these 5 or 10 things, the House is going to take a lead on these 5 or 10 things, and then we'll see at halftime when we swap.
That'll be great.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
To where we're accomplishing 10 things for the state of South Carolina instead of the same 5 things.
And that's actually the way government should work.
Should work, right. So I'm hopeful, man. I think
I've only had one end of session year to go off of.
yeah, that's right.
So I go back and I look at things like healthcare czar and things of that nature that just die, or fentanyl, death by fentanyl.
Right.
You know, those things. That was S1
Yep.
and it died.
And both of those things we came back after we both got reelected and passed. Mm-hmm. And so,
But
yeah.
we didn't stop it from passing the first time. It just,
So DOT, we
Yeah.
get it done?
I think we do.
I do too. I think we can convince our Senate colleagues to.
What about insurance rate reform or improvements?
Are we talking about health insurance?
All insurance. I think it'll have to be piecemeal.
So let me speak to healthcare reform. I have that prior authorization. Michael Johnson has the same bill in the Senate. It looks like, we're going to have some hearings on prior authorization, some healthcare reform. I'm optimistic that we get something across the finish line and over to the Senate. I don't know if the Senate's going to be able to pass it though. So, you're on the insurance rate, talking about property casualty and liability, all those
We
things.
did. I mean, this past week we went down to the center, which is one of a kind in the country, down in Chester, that studies wind damage and roofing. I mean, that was very informative, studying how hail bounces. I mean, they're even looking at the density of the ice,
Wind.
and what's in it, and when, and they're running all
Yeah,
these
that's right.
tests. You know, there are many things, and I've said it before, you know, I believe that actually getting a fortified roof should lower your insurance rates.
Right.
Now, how do we mandate? I don't think that's the government's job to mandate that.
Well, 'cause
the
then if
insurance companies should offer an incentive for that.
Right.
Just as they're tracking your driving and everything else.
Correct.
And they offer you incentives. They should offer you incentives for having a fortified roof or a fortified home.
When you're hearing that about a fortified roof, what was the response from the committee? I mean, because I think I agree with you on the sense of if you put in sort of that government mandate, you then you start raising costs for homes, which here in Rock Hill is already an issue, right? Affordability, cost of living for home ownership.
Well, we saw it in Florida.
So I like the idea of what you're talking about, where you get the incentive from the private insurance company for a lower rate.
Yeah, that's not the government mandating
Correct.
it. But
Yeah,
we've
yeah,
seen it,
agree.
and there's two different methods. You know, you got Alabama and you got Florida who have implemented these things. Both are high hurricane areas.
Yeah.
But it doesn't, through every meeting that we saw whenever it comes to homes, the one thing that really raises your insurance rates is whether your door opens inward or outward. Because if the wind blows your door and wind enters your house, your roof is gone and the structure collapses. That becomes the big cost. But yet within our building code,
Hey.
we're stating the door must open inward. So we've got to, I mean, to me, that's a simple fix, you know?
Everyone just ran to their front door to check if it's an innie or an outie.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I literally wanted to stop the show and go run and go check.
If I build a house from now on, my door will open outward.
That
not
door
inward.
right there opens inward.
I don't care if I got to get the inspection and then change it as soon as they leave. That's exactly what's going to happen.
So building code
That and fabric
runs,
on your roof.
Yeah, right.
You know?
So building code runs counter.
Yes. International building code.
You know what? Yeah,
that checks.
That checks. Government regulations running in opposition.
Yeah. I mean, something so simple. And it's that way, and it might be due to fire, so they can open the door easier if there's an issue, right? So they can knock in the door.
I
Or
am
law
sure
enforcement,
there's
I don't
some
know.
logic to it.
Yeah. But I mean, you have that.
Right now I'm struggling to find it.
You also have issues like we started replacing your windshield in South Carolina.
Correct, I've heard
because
this
we
one.
had inspections, but now we no longer have inspections.
Yeah.
So why are we mandating insurance companies to give you a free glass replacement every single year? That drives the cost up for everyone.
I've heard that
Yeah.
from every insurance carrier when it comes to vehicle and property and P&C.
I mean, those are just little things.
Yeah, yeah.
Why not make that a coverage that you can choose whether you want to pay for it or not?
Yeah.
Why is the state telling a private business, no, you got to do this?
Yep. So also we've talked about this before. I've got 5 or 6 PBM reform bills.
They ain't passing.
Again,
Are we still betting? I mean, are we still wagering? How do you say it?
this is prediction markets.
Prediction markets.
No, so whether it's healthcare, insurance reform, or PBM reform, I think all of those bills are starting a conversation,
Yes.
and those things are going to be a deliberate effort. I don't think we're going to get. It's
Kind of the way I feel about my Digital Choice Act.
It's
I don't
just-
believe it's going to pass. I believe we can have the conversation.
I think we're
and then
starting
hopefully next
conversations.
year, should we get reelected,
Yep.
we already have a head start
Yep.
on it. And a lot of people don't realize that is important, especially on bigger issues that take a lot to comprehend and understand.
Correct.
You have to have those conversations to get people on the base knowledge level
Yeah.
before you can just pass something that so many can't quite comprehend.
And again, I don't want the two listeners to misunderstand what we're saying. Look, I threw out PBM reform, prior authorization, and some other healthcare insurance reforms. And man, if I can get them passed,
Going to get them passed.
and I am going to use a lot of effort to do that. But if I look collectively, I got to go convince another 123 House members, educate them on it, get them up to speed, and all those things, and just understanding.
122. I'm going to vote whichever way you vote on that.
And so I understand there's also business interests involved, and they're going to want to have meetings and sit down and talk, and And so all that takes time. And so being realistic, again, in a prediction model, I'm going to say no as well. And I'm going to say no on insurance reform too. As much as I want it to happen, I just
think the lobby's too big.
I think it's hard for me. I think it's just a lot to digest. You know, healthcare is complex.
Well, maybe we have to do it in stages.
Yeah,
piecemeal.
Bites at the apple. Right.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm a little more skeptical about that one. I want to move over to gambling.
I don't think it's passing.
We have talked about this. All right.
I don't think it comes out of the House, much less the Senate.
Well, that's fine. I think gambling has been a social faux pas for a long time. We are in the Bible Belt, right? And
we are in the Republican Party, which is part of the platform.
That's right. And but as Republicans, just as it is as Baptists, we got an independent streak, man. You know, we like to sort of walk to the beat of our own drum, and maybe here I'm doing it, but on this online sports wagering, where you can go use an app on your phone and gamble, I'm fine with that.
Online sports wagering, I don't have as big of a problem with. Casino, I have a major problem.
I got you saying sports wagering.
Yeah. See the brainwashing.
Yeah. So I'm the same way. So do you think that we can pass something out of the House online?
I don't know. I don't know where the body stands on that.
I don't either.
And I don't know. Honestly, I don't even know what committee it's going through. If
Ways
it
and
does,
Means.
it would be Ways and Means.
Yep.
I could see some online wagering, not the just horse betting or whatever.
No.
That was tried to pass before.
Online sports wagering.
So I mean,
I'm going to say
very
yes.
similar to like DraftKings or anything else.
Exactly.
I think that it is a missed opportunity of revenue that we're having because so many people just use VPNs. So
100%, folks. Again, the argument is
I could see it passing, but I could see the pushback being so much for it to narrowly not pass.
okay. So I got you down.
I'm still going to say yes. I think it could.
Yeah, I
But
agree.
casinos, I think, will not even pass the House.
Folks, I am. I'm just looking at this pragmatically. I think people bet online, as Guffey has said. I think it's already happening.
Yeah.
So all we're doing when we pass legislation is taxing it. So there's some public tax revenue coming in, and you also put consumer protections in it, right?
Yeah.
It's already happening. To say that if we pass a bill is just blessing it and saying and making it okay, folks, it's already happening. And so what I'm saying is let's get a public good out of it. That's the tax revenue to offset what we have always said, eliminating the income tax or lowering the liability of what the government taxes private citizens and businesses. So North Carolina, in their first year, what they brought in $130 million. I think we could use $100 to $130 million.
Probably 30 of the million of that came out of York County.
to offset, other ways that the government finds, gets tax revenue from you. So I'm going to say yes on that. Casino, that is a trickier path. The casino bill as it's written right now allows for a brick and mortar casino to come in a specified location east of 95. I mean, folks, we are literally picking the winner here. And in the form that it's in now, you and I think we've talked about this before.
Cannot support it.
We're both no.
Well, the big problem and what people don't realize, we're both in York County. Well, whenever video poker was huge in South Carolina, the Catawba Nation was the only recognized tribe in the state, and they essentially were given the rights that if video poker is going to happen, it can happen through them, but no one else. So that would have been the gaming that they could have benefited off of, and yet as soon as that happened, they banned gaming. So the Catawba Indian Nation's never been able to do anything. Now you have the Lumbee tribe out of North Carolina that finally got their recognition, and so that's going to give them the ability to, say, open a casino. And the fear is they're trying to open a casino south on 995 to say, no, we want to open this first. But it's private. And that becomes an issue. Now, my problem with casinos it really boils down to sex trafficking. The amount of sex trafficking that happens around casinos is unreal.
Right. Well, and I also think there are inherent risks that come with a
Yeah.
brick and mortar casino, as well as online.
Now, I don't believe
Right.
I don't believe it's the state or the country's right to be able to dictate what a native tribe can do on their land.
Right.
I disagree with the way that we handle that in government. If it's their land, they should be able to do what they want to with it.
Yeah. And so on the casino thing, I think all of York County is a no.
Yeah.
Now,
I think. I don't know.
considering the casino bill, if that were to come to the floor, how do you think the House is going to vote?
I think it fails. Well, I mean, honestly, you and I last year, whenever we thought it was coming to the floor, we started going around just asking people where they stood. And, I got a call from a few pastors that were really worried about it.
Yeah.
And I was like, I don't think it's going to pass. And they were saying, oh, no, we're hearing that's going to pass. And I start going around asking. And as I counted the votes, it wasn't even 50%.
Well, I also think where we were dictating the geography of where it would exist, where it would be allowed, is where we really were like, come on, man. Like
I still
we do
can't
not like
approve
picking. No. We don't like picking winners and losers, and this seems like that's what we're doing here.
Yeah.
I'm out. And especially our people, being,
They would be the ones disenfranchised. Like, they should be the first if it was going to be legal.
I know. And again, folks, I don't want you to misinterpret. Like, do I have a problem with folks going to a casino? No. But do the inherent risks that come with a brick and mortar casino in our state sort of outweigh, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so, and again,
I mean, you look at places like North Carolina, it seems like Cherokee's doing great with that.
Yeah.
And many people are benefiting from it.
Right.
But I also don't want that in my backyard.
That's what I'm saying. So I think I'm along the lines of, hey, guys, if you want to go to Cherokee, you want to go to Vegas, have at it.
Yeah.
But that's
you can go to Two Kings.
But that's not South Carolina.
Two Kings is 30 minutes away.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
already approved.
So, so on the casino thing.
Unless you're an elected official, maybe. I don't know.
Yeah, I'm a no on that too.
Oh, goodness.
What about tort reform?
Tort reform in which form?
So, we tackled liquor liability in the House. I think we're going to see the Senate give us stricter DUI penalties,
Oh, yeah, that's got to pass.
right? And therein would give us, hopefully, less folks who are committing those crimes because now they're still sitting in jail. And hopefully that'll give relief to our businesses when they have to pay a lower premium.
Yeah.
Right. And so I put that under the umbrella of tort reform.
I could certainly see that. And I think that's something that's needed.
Yeah, I agree too. And then medical malpractice insurance. That's something I know Chairman Newton, Weston Newton out of Hilton Head, has been working on since right before we adjourned in the spring of last year.
Does that include those phantom charges?
I don't know. I haven't read the bill yet.
Okay.
But I do know they've been working hard on a medical malpractice. I do think that we're going to be able to at least get out of the House something dealing with medical malpractice. So
I think if Chairman Newton's pushing it, I think that he's already done his research to know whether there's
support for
enough consensus on the Senate side as
right.
well.
And a last, medical non-competes. So just a little update on medical non-competes. I think you and I are both for that.
Yeah.
I had that scheduled in my first subcommittee hearing on January 20th. So in talking with some of the members of the subcommittee, I think we're going to get that to the full committee pretty quick. I also, in the same January 20th subcommittee, parental rights. So, and again, this is something that's, I think, an easy one. I don't know why it gets a lot of, it's considered like a hot button issue. I think we had Tanya Shelnut and another, and what was the attorney's name?
Parental rights is needed, and we will get it. I think that we will get that passed along with privacy and
bathrooms.
Yep.
So on the parental rights issue, this is basically saying that parents have the fundamental right to have the authority, the responsibility to guide their child's medical care, right? That's easy.
Yeah. They should be informed.
The other one is, and the doctor cannot withhold evidence. I mean, any sort of thing on their file or whatever. This sprung out of the Help Not Harm bill, right? Where
The only problem I see with that is cases of abuse.
and that is in the language,
Yeah.
right? So there's exceptions for all of those things where it's the parent that's doing the abusing or they're the offender and all those things. So whether it comes to medical consent, it deals with that, raising the age of a minor from 16 to 18. On the education side, same thing. It's basically saying that parents have the fundamental right to basically be responsible for the education of their child.
Now, do we need to raise the age of consent to 18 if we're doing that? Because what happens if a 16-year-old is pregnant?
Back to the medical?
Yeah.
Yes. And again, this bill addresses a lot of those
Issues.
Yep. And we don't have to go into the weeds on all that. But it's that parental rights bill to include the education component and the medical component will be before the medical subcommittee January the 20th at 10 a.m. So Tuesday morning. I'm allowing 2 hours. So, folks, if you want to sign up, come on down to Columbia. More than welcome. But I do think we're going to get that parental rights passed.
Yep.
And the bathroom bill, as you said.
I believe that it'll pass.
Our colleague Travis Moore, who's a friend of ours, he sat with us or sat right behind us our freshman term. I think
Still sits behind me.
yeah.
Sits by me, in front of me.
So he is a judiciary subcommittee chair. He's taken up the what I call daddy protecting daughters bill.
Yeah.
Because, folks, is it just me or do dads get no credit whatsoever?
I agree.
Go read a children's book and tell me where daddy is. Hey, llama, go read it. There ain't no daddy in there. I mean, seriously. Go look at your children's bookcase and tell me where daddy is. Go to any bookstore and read a children's book. Show me where daddy is. That's wild, right?
Yeah.
But I'm a dad, and so I'm like, man, where's dad? Why is it always mama? Why is it all? Yeah, it is, man. So, folks, I have the two listeners. Give me all your children's books with daddy in it. Because
children's books. Children's books. Don't be sending them in the appropriate stuff.
Here we go. See, you're mine, man. Always going in the ditch, man. You have to edit that out. I'm just kidding. So I think Travis is going to take that bathroom bill up.
Yes.
Protecting girl spaces.
He's a good one to lead it.
And I think he's going to
I think it's Tommy's bill, too. Tommy Pope's bill.
Yeah, it is. And he's going to take that up, next week, right? First
yes,
week?
First week.
Wow.
It's coming out, I think, Wednesday is the subcommittee hearing for it. And we also have the groups coming down.
Yeah, so we have a few local women's...
York County GOP, the women's versions of the Republican women.
Yep.
And then Moms for Liberty.
All coming down on January 14th. So that's next Wednesday. I think we're doing a press conference, then subcommittee. Travis is chairing that subcommittee.
I didn't get invited to the press conference.
We'll hear the bill. I don't think I did either, but I think I'm going. And then we're going to do a lunch, right, where we're hosting sort of our York County folks who are down there to support the effort. But again, this bathroom bill is going to get a lot of maybe a lot of posts on social media. Maybe it gets a lot of newspaper articles. I don't know.
It's just common sense.
Correct. This one is not a divisive issue for me or you.
Yeah. Goes back to our any Audi discussion earlier.
Boy. I think that's going to get passed too. So man, I think there's a lot of stuff that we can get done this session.
Yeah, I'm excited. I'm ready to go.
I'm just ready to hang some pictures on my wall.
I've got to get that done. So I've got filming there and a press conference on Monday.
I tell you, you all about the camera crews, man.
I'm just trying to get things out.
All right. We'll see y'all in a minute. This episode of Pints of Politics is brought to you by Comer Distributing. Comer Distributing Company is a wholesale beer distributor located in Rock Hill, South Carolina. Founded in 1971, Comer is a family-owned business that distributes beer and other beverages to York, Chester, Fairfield, Lancaster, Kershaw, Lexington, and Richland counties.
All right, so we're going to go ahead and wrap up.
Thanks for listening to the first episode of 2026, man. Our first segment. Look, these program notes, throw them out the window, man, because That was supposed to be the first segment. And we just spent about,
First 5 to 10 minutes of it.
we just spent 50, 60 minutes just on segment 1. This is just going to be a 1-segment episode.
Yeah.
But hey, energized, ready to get back.
Yes. I'm ready, excited, ready to get my pictures hung.
Yeah.
And can't wait for midweek sips.
I know. So stay tuned, folks. Make sure you follow us, tune in, subscribe, YouTube, Facebook, Spotify, wherever you get your podcast.
TikTok.
That's right.
Insta.
Yeah. And speaking of, we got to change that picture, man. That was from like 4 years ago when we started this podcast. It seems
I like it. I look skinnier.
Boy, we look young and brisk. And, you know, now we're lethargic and 20 pounds heavier. But no, anyway. But yeah, thank you for watching. And stay tuned. Look forward to the midweek sip. Please like, subscribe, do all that stuff.
And visit us at pintsandpolitics.show as well.
Yeah, that's right. See you next
Thank
week.
y'all. Have a good one.
Raise it slow, let the real one speak. Pints and politics every damn week.